guys, my name is Triplett-Westendorf. A little bit about myself. Grew up in Worthington, Minnesota, a big town of about 10,000 people. Dad worked at a hog plant for my whole time I was there. I ended up going to Mason City, where my dad grew up from, and we kind of started there. Went to college for law enforcement, believe it or not. So how I ended up in financial planning, I had an uncle that worked for Prudential for many years and did this and kind of got me involved that way. No plans to go into this side of things. Like I said, my intention was to go in law enforcement, and somehow got a curveball, went this direction, and I've been doing this since, probably 2000, 2002, right in that area. I've been doing that ever since.
My name is Mark Triplett. I grew up around here, just north of Ankeny on a hog farm. So I'm just a pig farmer from Iowa. My dad didn't want me to farm, so he sent me, kicked me off to college. And when I was in college, I looked around and saw everybody was going to school. That was the thing. Like, if you didn't go to school, if you didn't go to get a 4-year degree, you weren't going to be anybody back then. I don't have the same beliefs today, but that's what everybody was pushing back in 1999. And when I got there, I realized, gosh, everybody else is going to school. So for a part-time job, I chose to work at a bank rather than flipping burgers. There's nothing wrong with flipping burgers, delivering pizzas, but I wanted to separate myself from the pack back then. That led me down this path of financial services. When I got out of school, I got to work for a large financial institution in West Des Moines, which really got me introduced to and interested in financial planning. I was very exposed at a young age to a lot of folks who are very proficient in financial planning, particularly retirement planning, and I kind of fell in love with that. Coached financial advisors for many years until one of them kind of told me to eat my own cooking. Basically developed a financial planning practice program to help financial planners serve their clients better and to be more successful and consistent with how they serve folks. And I was told to go ahead and put that into my own practice. Troy and I joined forces back in 2018. We started this financial planning journey, basically following the exact same script that I had been coaching other financial advisors around the country to follow in order to serve their clients in an extraordinary way. That's really where Triplett-Westendorf Financial Group came from. You were already in the financial planning world at that point for well over a decade and a half. Yep. I had actually been coaching you a little bit, and you had moved down to Ankeny. We said, let's get this started. So in 2018, we really had no clients in this area at all. No. You had some back in Mason City still that you were serving.
Mason City, but as far as the Ankeny area, we started at ground
zero. Yeah. Teaching financial literacy classes. In fact, many of the folks we serve today met us at one of our financial literacy classes. We had a host of different places that we hosted those classes, primarily DMAC though. We used a facility over there to host financial literacy topics such as Social Security optimization, tax planning strategies, et cetera. Many of the topics that we use in our day-to-day practice, serving the people that we work with. So it's been a lot of fun. We now serve clients in Iowa, Minnesota, Colorado, and several other states across. Yeah, we've got clients just kind of sprinkled all over.
Go down the list.
Yeah, but the bulk of them are here in Iowa, spread out throughout the state as well as Colorado. I'd say, Troy, you can back me up on this one, but the biggest stink we have to get off us or try to shake off of us is that, you guys are investment guys. When somebody asks what we do, and we say, financial planning or retirement planning, immediately assume that, you sell investments or you manage investments.
Going to get sold something. What are you going to sell us? I already have a guy. We hear that a lot. And typically there's no plan involved. They do have a guy and they do have accounts. What we find is they have accounts more than one place. They're usually spread out several different places, several different people or advisors or agents, and they don't really have a plan in place, I think, which sets us apart from most people, is having that planning process, really digging in deep and trying to get as accurate as possible when it comes to financial planning, having a plan in place. What does that look like 10 years from now, 20 years from now? When you start adding inflation, when you start adding healthcare expenses, how does that look? Do we run out of dollars? I mean, that's a big question too. Do we have enough money?
Yeah, the folks that we are best equipped to serve with the skills that we have are folks that are typically somewhere between 5 to 10 years before making that transition to retirement. Unfortunately, sometimes we meet folks who are ready, they're right on that tip and they're ready to make that transition in the next 12 months, which is fine. We can still help them do that, but oftentimes the bed they've made is the one they have to lie in, and we can just make it as comfortable as possible. When we have a few more years to do a little bit more planning, there are some things that maybe we can, strategies we can implement or actions we can take that might make things a little bit softer as they come in for that landing, as they transition from their working years to the post-working years. But that being said, those folks, they've lived a life. They've been married, had kids, sent them off to college. A lot of different transitional moments throughout their lifetime. Investment people or financial professionals, I use that term loosely, have come and gone, and they oftentimes have this kind of knapsack full of different investments or financial products, all kinds of stuff. They don't even know why they have it, but they accumulated it along the way, and they have one or more financial professionals that they see as advisors, but none of them are communicating. They haven't done anything to put as far as putting a solid plan of how things are going to work together. How are we going to optimize entitlement programs like Social Security, Medicare? How are we going to transition from healthcare at work to Medicare? How are we going to avoid paying unnecessary taxes, et cetera? So all of that stuff, we find that's what we do. That's what we really enjoy doing, is the planning part of it. But we get stuck with, oh, you're an investment guy. And nobody wants to be sold anything. Yeah. So once we get past that, generally I would say the folks that walk through the steps of our purpose and timeline, or PT 5-step planning process, find that the experience is very different than what they've ever had before, and very unexpected, and pleasantly surprised by the time they get through.
Definitely pleasantly surprised, because number one, when they come in for the first meeting, as much as you tell them we're not going to sell you anything, they're still expecting to get sold something at that, what we would say, our discovery meeting. So I think when they leave that and realize we didn't even talk about products, they're probably a little bit surprised. When they come into our analysis visit, they're probably a little surprised, because we still haven't talked about financial products. So I think that stigma, once they get back, once they get through those two visits, they realize, okay, this is about planning. It's not about what I'm going to purchase, what products I'm going to buy, what products are going to be sold. This is about a plan, and we really focus on the plan when we talk to people. What is different about you? I think the planning process.
Well, that comes back to our belief that every financial product and investment is just a tool. None of them are good or bad. Right. It's how they're used could be appropriate or inappropriate. And we shouldn't even be talking about financial products or investments, strategies, et cetera, until a plan is in place. That's just, I think, to me, it's financial malpractice to put that cart before the horse. And so we focus on planning first. And once we have a good idea of where we're going and what actions we need to take, then we can decide, well, which financial tools are going to help us achieve that action to get that outcome that we're looking for, that we've modeled in our financial planning program prior to making those recommendations. So very different experience. Often folks will find that it's a very different experience than what maybe they thought they were going to have with us when they come in to visit, and quickly realize that we're really striving to put them in a better position to help them get from where they are today to where they want to, where they see themselves in the future. Are they on track? Are they off track? What actions can they take to get themselves back on track, rather than what financial products are you going to sell me today?
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it gives me comfort, giving them peace of mind. Here's where you're at. Here's where you could be. Dollars are not going to run out if we do this. If we stick to your spend plan, which is another one that we often require that other firms may not, or they're the one that's selling a certain product here and there does not. We ask for that spend plan so we can actually see, are these dollars going to be enough to continue to live your lifestyle through retirement?
Well, and anybody that's listening to this that is not a client of ours, is going to say, what is a spend plan?
Right.
Not a spin plan, a spend plan. That's our fancy term for the B word, budget, because nobody likes to budget. But we require everybody to put down on paper what it costs to maintain their lifestyle today. Not just a rough figure in their head, but we break it down into the key components of their lifestyle so that we can appropriately adjust it for taxes, inflation, and healthcare. Then and only then can we really start to formulate, are they on track, are they off track, and what what strategies are going to help them get back on track. So it's a very different experience. Now, we have some existing media out there that I think it's important to talk about. When somebody says, why are you starting TMI with Mark and Troy? Right. Why another podcast? Well, we started out years ago doing those financial literacy classes. Then back in 2022, we wrote this book, Now You Pay, Now Collect, a high income earner's guide to claiming Social Security, which is still relevant today because it's all about how to optimize the program, which hasn't changed really much since then because it takes an act of Congress to make any changes to it. So how the strategies that are discussed in the book are still very relevant today. And if you want a copy of it, we can get you one. But beyond that, we've been featured on local television news programs for a number of years now. I mean, Troy, you've been interviewed by local news reporters, et cetera. I've been on many different news casts as well, and most recently a reoccurring spot on the midday show on WOI local Channel 5. Just talking about different financial topics, and that's been real helpful too. And then we started a podcast called the 15-Minute Financial Feast, and that was done with good intentions. 15 minutes, some financial topic that we thought was exciting and that people would be interested in. And there are over 75 episodes on our website right now with the 15-minute financial feast. And if you're a financial planning nerd, you'll probably enjoy it.
Right.
Most of the people we serve look to us to be the financial experts. They don't want us to make them a financial expert. And so we wanted to start a podcast that would be more relevant and interesting to the people we serve. And that's where TMI with Mark and Troy came from.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun too. I think going out and interviewing people in our local community here in Ankeny and maybe some of the surrounding areas, different business types are out there, business owners. I think there's a lot of things out there that it'd be nice to learn more about. I mean, I think a lot of times you think about different places and like, I don't even know what they do at that. I mean, you go down even Ankeny Boulevard, you see all these businesses. I don't know what a lot of them even do just by looking at the name.
Yeah, and to get to know some of these local business owners and what motivates them, particularly businesses that are relevant to the people that we serve. I think it's pretty one of the more exciting aspects of TMI. We're really looking forward to getting to know folks who might have services or products in our local community that you could shop local and feel good about it, and they're providing opportunities that maybe the people we serve would be interested in and didn't know anything about.
Absolutely.
In addition to that, civic leaders, getting folks who are kind of in charge of what's going on in the communities here locally in terms of the towns that we serve.
Absolutely.
And we also have some really great clients of ours that either have retired or are making that transition to retirement, and they're involved with all kinds of cool philanthropic opportunities. And we're looking forward to having some of them come on and talk about what's going on with their organization as well.
Yeah, they're serving on different boards. They've had a successful career and want to continue being involved. And just talking with some of the clients that are on these boards, I'm like, wow, just interesting topics that I would never in a million years know what's going on in Des Moines or the Ankeny area. It's like really interesting, and I think they have a lot to offer. A lot of our existing clients even have a lot to offer that have retired and have had really interesting careers.
Yeah, so that's one of the most exciting aspects is to have them come on and share as well. And we're open to suggestions. So if you know somebody or you know someone who you think is exceptional and we should know about, and and the folks that we serve would be interested in knowing more about, we'd love to have you put them in touch with Hannah and our team here so we can get them on the schedule to have them come in and visit with us and share about what they're doing and how they're making an impact. So that's pretty exciting too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And actually, you mentioned Hannah, which is going to be the person to contact if someone is listening to this and like, who do I talk to get my name out there? But that's who it's going to be. And I am excited. I think it's going to be a fun time for us, more than just talking about a financial product, being able to interview and actually learn as we do these things with what's going on in the community, some of the clients that are doing interesting things that we may not even know about.
Yeah, these will be much more interesting podcasts to interview these folks than
what is a Roth IRA?
Right. What's a Roth IRA? Should I contribute to a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA? We have those. Go to the 15-minute financial feast. You can listen to all 75 podcasts there, and you can get that kind of content. But that does beg the question, will we abandon financial topics with the new podcast? The answer is absolutely not, because, well, the two financial planning nerds here can't help ourselves. If there's opportunity that comes up, well, you can be sure we'll talk about it. But the focus really will be on those business owners, restaurateurs, maybe some executive chefs of some restaurants that our clients would be interested in knowing about, those civic leaders, and really learning about what other folks in the community are doing to make an impact. And we get to sit along and be along for the ride. If the opportunity comes up to talk about a financial planning topic that's relevant at the time, you bet we will not miss it. But the focus of this will not be the same as it was for the 15-minute financial feast. So be on the lookout for new episodes for the TMI, which stands for Too Much Information, with Mark and Troy. It should be a lot of fun, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.